achieving when fear's driven and end up losing it. But I'ma make it, yeah. Youth's born for greatness, yeah. For you see I and I own cheddar with one amount of hard labor. You know see I and I own cheddar with one amount of hard labor. So till Santa him can stop get our youth from one. Oh you are big dreams that we are. Oh. And living this life I know. No, that you, yeah, and me really can't easy. No, can't weary. No, Jah know you can't stop the flow. Just let the children go. Want every youth put on their thinking cap. No more time to laugh. Keep learning the fact. The poor and the man has been brainwashed. Adhering to a heart. The leaders them chat. Just like that, them falling at the trap. But you see I and I own cheddar. We find out.
Yes, my brothers and sisters, we back again. The new kid on the block. Operating from Studio Galaxy 473 in Conforto. And this program today is the Galaxy Equalizers. So on Saturday, between 10 and 12, we're hoping to have 2 episodes, the Galaxy Equalizers. There are a lot of topics that we want to address and we want to speak on and give people an opportunity to speak on it. We fear no challenge. We believe that to strengthen our democratic process, there are some topics that cannot be avoided. So again, we encourage you to share our program, like our program, and subscribe to Studio Galaxy. The brothers and sisters who live in Frankfurt, United States of America, England, the Caribbean, anywhere else in the world that you're hearing us, share our program. You could call our program. The number to call is 410-3030. We will even try to read some of your comments that you put on YouTube, Facebook, or you can WhatsApp us. That very number you can call straight, or you can WhatsApp. And today we want to talk a little about agriculture. We never want to forget agriculture, particularly in this era, where more and more the authorities that be seems to be avoiding agriculture. They seems to be avoiding agriculture. We want to remind you that today in Grenada we have a market for cocoa, we have a market for nutmeg, we have a market for fish, and we have a market for soursop. Grenada is the only country, I believe, in the region that can export fresh soursop to the U.S. market. We need to increase our production, increase our quality, and the government of Grenada in particular must help us with the transportation from soursop from Grenada to America. We have problem with transportation. We don't have to broadside agriculture. We must be surgical. We must be zeroing. I believe the worst crime in our society is for people who knows better to trick the unsuspecting. We can work on the husbandry practices in agriculture, in soursop, pollination, and husbandry practices. Then on the question of fish, almost the same factors. We have a market for fish. We cannot supply the quantity. Our quality is suspect. And the issue with transportation again is a factor. And Grenada, again, is one of the countries in the region that can export fish to the market. So the government have to get up on the blessed assurance and do what is necessary so that we could help that market. I said nutmeg, cocoa, fish, and soursop. We always have to search for new markets. And definitely honey production is another crop that is there begging to be exploited. And not Grenada alone, throughout the whole Caribbean. If we increase our honey production by 1,000%, we still cannot satisfy the market in Grenada. Whether Grenada, Dominica, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, none of the governments in the Caribbean is doing justice to honey production, apiculture, beekeeping. The University of the West Indies have not helped us. John Compton said, I don't know, sometime in the early 80s, he said the University of the West Indies have not helped us in agriculture. He said we're worse off than the days of Pharaoh. Because in the days of Pharaoh, we had the bullocks and the cart. We're fighting with the hoe and the spade. Look in the agriculture sector and ask yourself the question, where are our scholars? Where are our intellectual heavyweights? You don't have to believe me. Go and look in all aspects of agriculture and see if they are involved in production. They may be speaking English more than the British. They may be well-dressed. They're making fine speeches and writing paper. But they are not helping to develop the industry. So we want to appeal to the individual, the thinkers in the Caribbean, and Grenada in particular, that we have to develop agriculture. We have to stop messing around. Stop pretending. Zeroing on these crops because you have a market for it. The next one we put it on the table today is flowers. And the same issue goes for the whole Caribbean. We have a caller on the line? Yes, and we have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. Go right ahead. Yes, my brother, welcome. You live on the Galaxy Equalizers today. You want to contribute to the program? Caller, you want to contribute to the program, Galaxy Equalizers? Okay. Yes, caller? Caller, you hearing us? You want to contribute to a program, Galaxy Equalizers? All right, I don't think that caller, perhaps just a routine call. Yes. So definitely, we have to stop messing around. We can't continue to trick our people. Every time you listen to government, you get baffled. You wonder who these people think they are. Why they don't zero in on agriculture. Why they don't zero in on the aspect of agriculture that can bring results. Those you have a ready market for. As I said before, you have a market for cocoa. You have a market for nutmeg. You have a market for fish. You have a market for saucer. And if you increase honey production by 1,000%, you cannot satisfy the market. And now we reach to flowers. Now everybody using flowers. They use flowers in the church. You use flowers in funerals, in parties, for romantic purposes. The flower industry is a billion-dollar industry. What percentage of that industry that the Caribbean have? What percentage of that industry that Grenada believe they could bite in? Every Grenadian like flowers. Even though they don't like flowers, they use flowers. So there is a ready-made market for flowers. So why don't we produce flowers? Why don't we encourage our people to get involved in flowers? People, I mean, you don't understand. Why is it the University of the West Indies have not helped us in the flowers industry? Land is not a problem. You know. Guyana is bigger than England almost twice. Almost twice. Guyana bigger than England. 44 and 83,000 square miles. So you have land in the Caribbean. Grenada, why don't we invest in flowers? We went to the Chelsea Flowers Show for many years and Grenada got gold. They did well. The orchid industry in Grenada has improved significantly. And you have a small number of people involved in orchids and doing well. You have other little groups trying to produce spotted plants and other flowers. The government seems not to know, not to care, are avoiding these areas where we can expand the flowers industry significantly. We can cut down on the importation of artificial flowers. We can encourage our people to consume, to use more flowers. You have Valentine, you have Independence, you have Easter, Christmas, birthday parties, holidays. Almost every meeting, whether it is political or religious or civil, people try to improve the aesthetic and the ambience and the environment, and they use flowers. What program do we have in Grenada to encourage our people to use local flowers? What program do we have? We have one among the agronomists. I understand we even have a marketing arm in agriculture. Are we marketing flowers? Are we encouraging our farmers to plant flowers? Sometimes when you see or when you hear government plans, you know that is doomed to fail. We don't need more farmers in agriculture. You know. What we need is better farmers. Because we have enough farmers. 80% of our people are directly or indirectly involved in agriculture. And any country where 80% of the people directly or indirectly involved in agriculture are poor countries. So you don't need more farmers in Grenada. What you need is better farmers, more focus, and government provide the necessary assistance and incentive for those farmers. Sometimes I would not even encourage my child to learn agriculture in school. It's a waste of time. If you want an additional subject for bragging rights, then you could do agriculture. But if you want to make money in agriculture, then I'll encourage them to go and visit some farmers that are making money. Rather than sit down wasting time in the ministry for 1 year, 2 years. And when you come out from there, you cannot get a job. And whatever you invest in is a failure. You don't have the lands. And even if you get the land, then you don't have the support system. So I don't waste time encouraging. In fact, I've told those who are close to me, don't waste time. Don't waste time bothering with agriculture in school. If you want to get involved in agriculture, you must go in it to make money. Not to sit down and waste time. And I do hope, I don't know when we're going to, that is why I appeal to stakeholders and farmers and encourage them. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you're going to produce, you need a market. We have a small economy. We have a small population. So the areas where you have a market are areas that you should focus on. And the areas where, for instance, like honey, like flowers, that if you invest in that area, you practically certain that you have a market for it. The government speaks about the environment, and this is a bag of hogwash. They speak about the environment, but they're importing artificial flowers. Now, if you have all sorts of programs about the environment and you have funding for it, why don't you start to discourage people from consuming artificial flowers? You have to use foreign exchange to get these artificial flowers. And these artificial flowers are more likely to be harmful to the environment. Although we in the Caribbean is not doing anything negative, much, I must say, significant in any significant way to the environment. Maybe our damage to the environment is 0.something%. But if you are able to get funding for it, because they're getting funding, why not discourage people from importing artificial flowers? Because we are in a position to produce natural flowers. Lilies, orchids, roses. Why not? No, even when you look at the curriculum that the government have and others when they have training session, since you see the subject matter, you know they just have these young people there, setting them up for poverty. And young people must open your eyes. Don't let institution continue to set you up for poverty. When you exit school, you must want to advance. You must want to make money. If you're going to get involved in agriculture, you must determine, why am I going there? Is it a hobby, or am I going there to make money? And if you decide to go to make money, then perhaps you should have dialogue with successful people who are involved in agriculture. Successful farmers is an inspiration. They can help you significantly by tuning in with them, being an apprentice with them periodically. Sometimes it's better and perhaps more appropriate to work with a successful farmer if he is in similar discipline with you. Even you have to pay him an apprenticeship fee. You would see greater returns in your endeavor than some of these programs that I see government like to do. Perhaps these programs that they're doing is going to attract massive fundings. And they may be able to write nice paper and deliver good speeches. But really and truly, I don't believe it helps you in the long run. We have to do better. I firmly believe that we could do better. If you have a market for a product and you know you are not producing enough and the quality that you have is not good and you are not doing anything about it, then something has to wrong with your brain. And that is why John Compton challenged the University of the West Indies. And that's why I'm encouraging you to challenge our people who have tertiary education in agriculture, our scholars in agriculture, and see what they're doing. When an individual come and speak to you, ask him to visit his farm. Ask him to visit his parents' farm. He's not investing in what he's telling you. So he's saying one thing to you, but he's practicing another one. That is a challenge. The flowers industry is crying out. We can produce more flowers. We can cut down on the amount of flowers that we import. And we can market flowers locally. We can encourage men to give women flowers. We can encourage our women to get romantic and accept flowers from the men. There are some women in Grenada, they don't make flowers. If you go and give them flowers as gift, you're in trouble. But that could change. Government could market the fact that flowers is a good show of love, a good act by a man to give his woman flowers or give his children flowers on their birthday and anniversaries. Valentine, we could make a big thing of flowers on Valentine. Mother's Day. The government could implement an initiative where they invest some venture capital and encourage members of staff for maybe 2-3 years to give the women in the staff flowers. It's a marketing stunt, so you make a show of it to encourage your people in general to accept flowers as gifts. That will help the farmers to increase productivity, because there'll be a ready market where we have a people that is a little bit more sensitive, more romantic, more loving. Our people seems to be touchy. They're hard. They get cold. They get insensitive. So maybe now is opportune. Perhaps it is the correct time for government marketing arm in agriculture to start to market flowers. It's not expensive. It's not rocket science. Social media is available galore. The government themselves is doing a lot to market themselves, their face and etc. See them popping up on social media all the time. Maybe they better start to give them others bouquet. That might help them. But the marketing arm in the Ministry of Agriculture is a joke. It makes no sense calling yourself big name, well trained, with a lot of certificate, and your result is poor. Why the marketing arm in the Ministry of Agriculture don't market flowers? In yesteryear, some of the higher belt We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome. Yes, caller, go right ahead and welcome. You hearing me, caller? That caller trying to get through, but we're not hearing it. So either we yes, caller. Something is not. I don't know if he's on my end, but I know you're trying to get in, but we're not hearing you. Okay, so we're trying to see if we could connect you. While we try from our end to see, yes. So caller, please try again. And I know you're hearing us, but some of the other, you make contact and we're not hearing you. So I believe our people must demand. The government don't have a clue what to do. So some of the stakeholders in our country must start to discuss issues and point it out to the government and say, do that. The farmers must wake up. In a belt like Burge Grove, Cloger, the higher belt, Pleasance, Monkridge, that area, couldn't we grow lilies in that area? These are good flowers. And I'm speaking because you may not have the necessary water in the lower belt. You know, Grenada seems to have a good, the water system in Grenada is well dispersed. We have increased the amount of vehicles in Grenada in the last 10, 12 years. We almost double the amount of vehicles we have. Now I understand we have over 58,000 registered vehicles, 110,000 people. So money is not really the problem. So maybe some farmers have to buy pump instead of vehicles. Because you have a lot of people, a lot of young people, a lot of farmers with vehicles that they can't maintain. They cannot maintain it. The land is not productive enough to maintain the transport. So perhaps government need to market pumps, encourage pumps in the waterway and etc. Or government themselves could establish big pumps that 20, 30 farmers could use. And we could increase our productivity. The government invests in all sorts of nonsense. This present government traveling as if they have fire in the blessed assurance they can see down. Then maybe you could invest some of this money into communal pumps so that farmers could get irrigation and water and they could grow their crops better. And one of the crops you could encourage farmers to grow is flowers. Women, if you grow flowers, your man might treat you better. He might think you're romantic. Say, my wife like flowers. He might talk about you more. Learn to accept flowers from men. Flowers and chocolate. And a man might even spend more time at his home and less time in the rum shop. Because he has to help his wife take care of flowers. And he's so happy. When you watch his house, it's glowing with beauty. You don't want to leave the house. The flowers gardening around his home is so nice. Your children, vocabulary might increase. Have you ever thought about a 5-year-old knowing the names of 20 flowers plant? Try it. The flowers around your home. If you don't have plant, you women do that. Plant flowers and involve your children in the project. And let them know the names of the flowers. You can get a piece of cardboard cheap. It's free rather than throwing it in the garbage. Cut it out nice. Write the names of the flowers that you have and give your children to play. By the time they're 5 years, 2.5, 5 years, they could know the names of 20 plants at least. And when they know the name of 20, well, you get nice. You could encourage them to know more. You know what kind of vocabulary your 5-year-old will have? Imagine a 5-year-old know the names of some of the flowers that you have. We have to change the culture of our people. That might help your son to be more romantic. His wife, his mother growing flowers, his sister like flowers. He will take more risk in handing a woman a bouquet of flowers. Most women now prefer things to eat. Pants. Want eyelash. Ring to put in nose. As if you plowing or some kind of thing. Rather than a nice bouquet of flowers. Make the man more happy. You more romantic. There'll be more peace in the home. There'll be more peace in the home. Some homes as if it's a war. Conflicts. Confusion. So much insensitivity. When before something happened, people asking for vengeance rather than justice with compassion. Because we becoming a harsh people. Listen to the language of the young men. Listen to the language of the young men. Maybe if they grow in a home where mommy loves flowers, and there are so much different beautiful flowers. Different homes can even have competition. When Independence time, you have best village. Instead of bringing robot and other things, you have best village competition. And everybody have nice different flowers. Some people may specialize in lilies, or anthuriums, or crotons, or bougainvilleas. And you have a beautiful setting. We need to address some of these challenges that we have in our society. We can do it. We need to do things that help our people, that encourage our people to love one another more. The language we're using is too harsh with one another. It's too objectionable. It's too insensitive. And perhaps if families start growing flowers, because I go back and look at all the people who grow flowers in Grenada, they tend to be more peaceful. They tend to be more kind. They tend not to be so quarrelsome and rambunctious. They tend to be nice and pleasant people. So if we encourage more of our women to grow flowers, there'll be more peace in the home. Your man might stay home more regular. He might love to boast about you. You might talk about his wife flowers garden and how peaceful and nice his wife is. You might even see more bees coming to get the nectar of the flowers. And your children vocabulary would improve. Your girls would have a better appreciation for men giving them flowers. The language, the objectionable language that our boys using may cease. It may tone down. Somebody might say, I pass at your home and I see this beautiful flowers garden. How could you be behaving like that and you have a flowers garden so nice at your home? The villages might live in more peace and harmony. It could also be an act that tourists passing from village to village. And they get transfixed with the beauty, with the amount of flowers people have. A whole nation of people that takes greater interest in flowers. It has multiplying effect. So we speak about that, and we hope that we could provoke some discussion on that. The government head hard like rock. We don't expect them to listen to us. The University of the West Indies have not been helpful. And some of our intelligentsia believe that is not their responsibility. But we could change these things. It takes the ordinary man to recognize the benefit of having more peace and more harmony. It is always good and well for brethren to dwell together in peace. Men might like the home more. Some men see the home as a prison. They live in the morning, they come back in the night, and they leave all the money again. But maybe if the women start to plant flowers, they will live in better harmony. Because flowers is also therapeutic, you know. Ask our bright psychologists, our clinical psychologists, in society. Next time you see them, ask them. Ask them if flowers is not therapeutic. Some people go and sit in the flowers garden and they relax, they meditate, peace and harmony. Rasta could go and sit in the flowers garden and smoke a little weed, because just now we go legalize it. And they do with a pipe, they cock up their foot, and they enjoy in the flowers garden. We have too much conflicts in this country. We have too much insensitive people. Or people too cold, too angry, like a pistol ready to go off. And maybe if we market flowers, if we encourage our people to plant flowers, if we consume more flowers, we definitely could be a milder people, a more loving people. A lot of women might have man. Notice a lot of women, no man, one man, but they don't have. Because everybody harsh, everybody rough, everybody crude. But try it. You women, most of you have discretionary income. Why do I say that? You all have cars. You all have vehicles you all can maintain. Enhance your home by planting flowers around your home. You may get market, so your hobby could turn a serious source of income. The planting of flowers around your home could help the peace and harmony in your home. It will become therapeutic. It might encourage your man to spend more time home. He can sit in the veranda and enjoy the beautiful flowers. And you might even look better in his eyes. The rippling effect of that, because your children, by knowing the names of the flowers and involved in that project, would expand their vocabulary. You have nothing to lose. We could be a better people. This country could be a better people. And maybe that is the route we have to take before the government recognize that we have to do both. Before those individuals recognize. And then you're going to hear them speaking about advertising Grenada for tourism because we have so much flowers. Then they're going to come in. But it doesn't matter when they come in. It's the end result that's important. It doesn't matter who caused it. It is the end result that is important. children may able to concentrate and settle down better in school because they come from a home with love and harmony. And on evening time, they spend time in the flowers garden because all the villagers want to see the flowers garden better. And the little children, which is most important in changing the dynamics or addressing the challenges that we have, the little children would have a greater vocabulary. And that is one of the challenges we have in school, you know. Our children are not settling down. They're not settling down. And they have poor vocabulary. And the teacher fed up with them. The teacher wish they leave school. So you could never believe that could change. Because your child would have a better appreciation for the flowers in your home. Your child will know the names of the flowers and care about the flowers. And know what we have to do to encourage our flowers to grow. And can continue at a very young age to have a source of income. Because my mother is selling flowers. You can see the economy of it. And that would help the individual overall. Let's give it a try. Let's think about it. We could do better. We should do better. You know, throughout the whole Caribbean, when you watch the Caribbean islands, all of them have ignored the flowers industry. All of them. You have countries like Israel who sell billions of dollars in flowers. A number of our Caribbean leaders have been to Israel. They see it. But when they come back home, you think they bother about that? No. A number of our agronomists have been to Israel. They went there on training. They saw it. When they come back, you think they bother about it? No. We have a flowers industry that is crying out to be exploited. We have high unemployment in Grenada. And it's going to get worse. If we do nothing about it, it's going to get worse. Because we have a very insensitive government that is a bit hostile to the people in the lower income group. And that is a formula for social decadence. But if you grow up in a home where planting flowers is a big thing, you might be a milder person, a more understanding person. Because flowers is therapeutic. And you involve in planting flowers, you might have more patience. And you might be close as a Christian, and almost everybody in Grenada is religious. We're not perfect. We might go in hell, but we're religious. So flowers is a catalyst for better behavior, for less objectionable language. I believe it will have positive effects on our homes, on our romantic lives, It will be therapy. It will be better for our children. Our young men would have a better appreciation for beauty and for peace and for harmony. Our young women might have a better appreciation and cherish a gentleman handing them a bouquet of flowers instead of a box of chicken. We might have less overweight people in the country because a lot of people eat because they're bored. They eat because they are unhappy. They eat because they live in a cantankerous, rambunctious life with conflict. So the eating become the answer. They have to do something with their mouth. When the man gone, they can't get the man to cause they eat food. But if you introduce flowers, there'll be more harmony in the home. And you might, if that is one of the ways we might control obesity. Go and speak to the psychologist. Go and speak to the clinical psychologist and the social scientists and ask them if there is any merit in what I say. But Grenada economy will be better. So it's a win-win situation. And I think the best thing is we must discuss this issue. We must not be afraid to discuss issue. We don't have answers, but you may have other people chiming in and dispute what we say or support it or provide greater advice and suggestions. But the flowers industry, we must not ignore. The flowers industry is crying out for help. People go to the cemetery and they drop some artificial flowers in the cemetery on their loved ones. They say, may your soul rest in peace. And they never have to go back. Ask the guy, you don't go in and bring flowers. He said, these artificial flowers are done yet. You say, get some strong artificial flowers. You'll last long. But maybe if we give it nice cut flowers, we have to do it more regular. Show a greater act of love. And people who practice love, they tend to have a more compassionate heart, empathy. They tend to be more respectful. They tend to be more sensitive to the needs of others. You send your son going to the home for the aged to bring flowers for next one. A lot of the boys you see behaving with this objectionable behavior on the street. If you grow them with flowers, to give flowers a gift, they would discontinue that practice. They wouldn't do that. You encourage them to visit the sick and bring a bouquet of flowers. That, I believe, would help our country improve immensely. It would help strengthen family unity. That's a sad part of our country. When you have strong families, you tend to have a stronger country. When you have families breaking up, they ignore even the weaker ones in the family. We might have less vagrants on the street. You know what it is to give your brother, who perhaps is a vagrant, a nice bouquet of flowers as an act of reaching out to him. Because when you speak to a lot of the people we consider as vagrants on the street, they believe everybody give up on them. Say nobody like them, nobody care about them. Don't believe me, speak to them. Engage them in a conversation. Speak to them. Family members must never ignore those that are challenged. The weaker ones. You have women, young women now. They join the boys, they're on the street. Maybe you bring a nice bouquet of flowers for them. That might make the day, and that might be the catalyst that cause them to change, because people care about them. It's not only saying you care, because when you meet them, you want to chastise them. You feel shame because they are members of your family. And that's what you tell them. You're shaming us. It means you don't care about them, but you care about the negative consequences that their life have on you. People say, that is your sister. Embrace them. Reach out to them. You could give them food, maybe a clean kerchief, and every now and then, a bouquet of flowers. Bring a rose. When you visit them in the hospital, show them you care. And in that way, you will also be helping the economy. Because you have to buy the flowers. Bring it for them. Not artificial flowers. Natural flowers. Sometimes the artificial flowers is what you had in your house about 3-4 years. And the people recognize it, you know. They watch the flowers, they should take all that in the house. Or saw that by the funeral agency. Natural flowers. And reach out to the weaker members of your family. The retards. Those that have Down syndrome. The mental cases. The people who go to prison all the time. A lot of time you hear the young men say, nobody cares about them. So show them you care. We have to advocate for softer people. A people that care. If we don't care about the weaker ones, remember, very soon you will be in the departure lounge. Very soon you're waiting for the last flight, the next flight to take you out. So if you don't show your care, and one of the best ways to show you real genuine is flowers. Bring a bouquet of flowers, a rose, a bunch of orchids, a potted plant. Learn to help the weaker ones. Learn to show them that you care. And at the same time, you will be contributing to develop the economy of your country. You will be contributing significantly to help to prevent decadence in our society. You will make better boys. You're going to make better sons. We have some sons now, they're harsh, they're cold, they're insensitive, and they want to seek vengeance, even before people do them anything. So we need to make softer, more compassionate, more loving, more sensitive young men that is concerned and care. And one of the ways it could be done by having a culture of planting flowers. Remember, the number to call is 410-3030. I know we have had a caller, and you can give us a call back. We encourage an interactive program, and we felt it necessary to point out and encourage discussion. Sit down in your home. Father, mother, children, don't behave as if it's a bad Doberman dog. Sit down and discuss issues. We have too much of fracture in our homes, too much of problem in our homes. Use the opportunity. If you want to exercise, every now and then you hear people say they want to exercise. Some women running on the road, causing accident. Plant flowers. Spend 1 hour, a half an hour a day, or a week, half an hour a week in the flowers garden. After a while, you're going to see a remarkable change in your home. You're going to see a remarkable change. Sometimes your sons join you. Your daughters join you. Your spouse join you. Sometimes if you don't have a spouse, sometimes you get one. They come and help you. They say, this is a nice woman. She likes flowers. She's a beautiful woman. is a godly woman, and you know men could shower you with a lot of flattery. And sometimes you become what people think or what you think. Instead of running on the road and letting car bounce you, stay at your home, plant flowers, enhance the beauty of your home. It doesn't matter how rich or how poor you are. Planting flowers around your home could enhance the aesthetic, the whole majestic of the home. You could ask George Washington Carver. If you go back and you read about George Washington Carver, always encourage people to do that. We have lost that in our home. See people building walls where there is no need for wall. They don't even have enough money to build good wall. They want to build long wall without column in it. You go fall along and damage people. Plant a fence. Plant a nice curtain. Plant a colorful fence instead. It's going to help to keep up the bank. And it's going to look good. And it's a flowers. So I want to encourage you to do better. And as we come to the end of our program today, you have to remember we are operating from Studio Galaxy 473 in Conforto, Paraclete. And we have another session for the last hour of the program, because on Saturday we have Galaxy Equalizers. And the last session, we expect to have Kennedy Budlal and Master Carl with us for the next hour. So join us every Saturday between 10 and 12 when we have two programs, and it is known as the Galaxy Equalizers. And we want to thank our technician. You know, we have a young and old mixture, because the old people doing some talking, but we don't know about the technology. So we have a youth helping us with this technology. So he's one of the individuals you see there on the drum. You see, between the drum, doing technology, and I hope he planting flowers and get more romantic. Thank you very much.
Say whoa, 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 whoa. Say whoa, 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 whoa. Ready now, me ready now. A time to share, a time to care, a time to happy. But the whole year just went and you forgot it. Too much disguising on your love. I know I come tell the eye about Merry Christmas. Lord, you need to give a little. You get your riddle. You need to show the people something more. Don't make the heart shiver when fear's driven and end up losing it. But I'ma make it. Youth's born for greatness. For you see I and I own cheddar with one amount of labor. You know see I and I own cheddar with one amount of labor. So till Santa him can stop get our youth from war.